So good morning everyone. Welcome to the new season of OpenStack Cloud Infrastructure as a Service. So this session is going to be in English based on your request. So without wasting any time, I'll start this session. So very first when we say cloud, so I understand that many of you have started working on cloud technology and many of you are still planning to learn this cloud technology. So there is a kind of a mist or a kind of, you can say that confusion. People are not fully aware about the cloud technology. What exactly is a cloud? So I request any one of you to please share your views about cloud. So what exactly you think is a cloud technology? Then after that, I will explain what exactly is the cloud. Good morning.
According to me, cloud is something which we can access our resources from anywhere, anytime.
Let me explain you what exactly is a cloud. So friends, first of all, cloud is not a single technology and cloud is not a single domain. So whatever you are trying to learn or you are already working associated in your current profile is already related to cloud. So you are already directly or indirectly associated with cloud technology. Let me give you one very basic example of cloud. This is a very basic example. It's not exactly like I'm teaching you cloud here, but I'm telling you a very small example. Just assume that before 5 to 10 years, when we used to have our devices like our mobile phones, so whatever data you store in your mobile phones, like if you store some pictures and suppose that due to any reason your device is not working, then what happen in that case? You lose your data. You might purchase a new device. Yes, you can go to the store and you can purchase a new handset, but the data, the pictures which were there in your phone are lost. Now this is a case when we don't had the cloud technology in market. So what nowadays we see is like we have a cloud storage provided by different vendors like Google or Apple iCloud or your Dropbox. There are n number of example of cloud storage. Even your Xiaomi and all the different handset provider by themselves, they are storing everything from your device to their cloud storage. What is the reason for storing that data? That you have a physical device which you have purchased and you have some important data in that device, and due to any reason this hardware could be failed, or it could be down, or it could be like lost, or it could be damaged. In that case, whatever data reside inside this device is lost completely. Therefore we can have a storage. So I'm giving an example of cloud storage. So in cloud storage you have a storage outside your device which is managed in a data center by your company, your vendor from whom you have purchased your device. Now what happens in any problem? Suppose your device is not working and you are not able to access this device. This is broken down and you purchase a new device. Now when you purchase a new device, you can easily you can put your basic information in the new device, but what happened to your data? What will happen if you have a cloud storage connected to your account? So you simply log in your account from this new device, and what happened? Whatever data was there in the storage is automatically downloaded to your system. So that means you have a redundancy. Whatever data, whatever thing you are doing on your phone is actually getting stored in some third party platform, some data center which is managed by your company. Company means not company which you are working, company means from where you have purchased your device. So the handset companies or the cloud service providers to whom you are choosing for subscription, they are storing your data in their data center. And whenever you need, you just need to log into another device with the same credential, and whatever data you have in your device one is automatically synchronized in your device two. So this is very basic example. It is not related to your job profile, but it is something related to your day-to-day life. So according to me, if you ask me what exactly is a cloud, so I will give you a very basic definition. The basic definition is that any technology, okay, any technology, just a second, I'll just change my pointer. Okay. So see, any technology which transforms the traditional way of working is called as cloud. So I'm not specifically sticking to some technique. I'm saying that whatever work or whatever way of life we were living 5 to 10 years before, and the way of life we are living right now is changed because of the some transformation, and cloud is somewhere related to everybody's life. You don't need to invest or own any physical resources anymore. Cloud service provides services to user instantly on demand basis. Like one of you said that whatever resources we need is provided to us on demand. So whatever resources you need, whether it is a data, whether you need your physical resources like infrastructure, or if you need a platform, if you want to have a virtual machine, if you want to have a network storage, you want to have a like a VM, you want to have directly software, everything is there on demand nowadays. You just simply log in and you get whatever you need it, right? So division of the traditional, now I'm coming back to the I mean the industry. So coming back to industry definition, so see the division of traditional IT and telco has been divided in two categories, two parts. Now the industry is divided in two parts. One is the cloud service provider and the second one is your cloud service user. So what do you mean? Either you are a cloud service provider or you are a cloud service user. There is no third category that says that I am not associated with cloud in our IT and telco. Everyone is associated with cloud in form of a provider or in form of user. Now you as a audience need to decide what exactly you want to do, whether you want to go with cloud service provider technology or you want to learn as a cloud service user. Doesn't matter. If you go with cloud service provider, you are not like you are going to lose your own core technology. No, you are still going to keep working on your like you still have your knowledge, but it's your decision where you want to go. If you are going with cloud service user, like your core technology which you have been working from last 10 to 20 years, that is also fine, but you still need to learn this cloud service provider, because as a user, whatever activity you are going to do, you are going to do on top of cloud service provider, means the services provided by the cloud platform. Now let me come to next slide. Today's session is going to be very short. I'm not going to take much time because this is day one and I don't want to overburden you with extra information. So I'll try to stick to the points. So as I said that cloud is all about services. Remember this line, cloud is all about services. As a provider, if I am a cloud provider, I'm going to provide you services. If you are a subscriber or a user, you are going to utilize the services of cloud. Now going with this terminology, cloud services are defined, I mean, divided into four major categories. So these are the four major categories. It's not like these are only four categories. You can have even five also, you can have six also. Depending on the new technologies which are coming nowadays, you can have fifth, sixth, and n number of services. But when I say broader sense, so in broader sense, we have only four type of services, and out of four, we specifically stick to these two services. So the very first service of cloud is infrastructure as a service, and please remember the sequence. The sequence in which I'm telling you these examples are actually sequential. You cannot say that you first have a platform as a service and then on top of it you want to do something called infrastructure as a service. So this goes ascending order. The very first service in the cloud technology is infrastructure as a service. The second technology in cloud is platform as a service. The third technology is software as a service. Fourth is your function or code as a service. So when I say infrastructure as a service, this is our course which we are going to do. I'm going to teach you about infrastructure as a service. We're going to learn OpenStack, which is an open source software which provides infrastructure as a service. But when we say platform as a service, this is another case. This, for example, if you want to get an example of platform as a service, it is Kubernetes. Kubernetes, which provides a platform, and Kubernetes is not only solution for providing platform. There are other solutions also which are equivalent to Kubernetes. But yes, definitely Kubernetes is far better and experience and product. And most important, it is an open source. That's why industry is working on Kubernetes. But you still have other examples also which you or me might not be fully aware, but industry might be having their own platform as a service from maybe from last 10 or 20 years. They already have their own platform as a service, but we don't know. But when we talk about the generic models or the open services concepts, so definitely we will discuss about Kubernetes. That is a separate class. I already have a class ongoing. If you want to follow that class, you can definitely follow the links, I mean the previous class recordings, or you can contact me for this platform as a service classes. Third one is your software as a service. The example of software as a service is your Outlook. So in nowadays, when you work on your company laptop, so you get Office 365. In Office 365, you get many in that package you find many services. One is your Outlook, one is your Teams, one is your like SharePoint. You get Excel out, and then your MS Word, PowerPoint. These are the basic tools. But remember what happens to the data. For example, if you share something on Teams to your colleague, it automatically gets stored on some storage. You don't store it somewhere in your local laptop, but it actually gets stored somewhere. And whenever your team or colleague want to access that data again, then he or she just need to download it or just forward that link to someone else if you want to forward that data to some other person. This is an example of software as a service where you already have a software that is your Office 365, and you are not bothered about how the software is running, what is the architecture of the software, what is the platform of the software, where is the data center of the software. You are not bothered about anything. You only enjoy the services of the software. So this is called as software as a service. For example, if you use Google Drive, or you use Gmail, or if you use OneDrive or iCloud storage, so all these are example of software as a service where you are enjoying or using these services of the software irrespective of the architecture, operational conditions, or the data center location. You just simply enjoy the services. The fourth one is your function or code as a service. For example, if you are a developer and you just want to test your code, but you don't have a platform where you want to test your code, so Cloud's platform will provide you a platform where you can just simply put your code and do a testing. So it provides you code as a service, function as a service. So this is a fourth category, but remember, third and fourth points are not relevant at the moment to us means to you and to me, but it might be relevant to some people who are working directly as a user on the cloud technology. But when we say as a techie people, like who have the ambition to work in, especially in technology, are more foremost like concerned with the first two examples. So, so Kubernetes, I'm not going to teach you. I'm going to teach you infrastructure as a service, and the example of infrastructure as a service is OpenStack. So moving ahead, see, this is a stack, and in all my previous sessions, this is the stack which I keep on repeating, that this is a stack without which it is not possible for any software to run. I'm not talking about development. It is possible to develop anything anywhere, but when you say that you want to run a software, you definitely need a stack. Without stack, your software will never ever get executed or run on any platform. So what exactly is this stack? See, everything in the industry starts from the data center. You are already associated in the industry and you know this thing better than me, that you already have a data center for your softwares or your servers or your applications or your functions which you are running, or on top of which you are doing operations and maintenance, or you are doing deployment as a project resource, or you are doing R&D on your softwares. So any field you are in IT or telecom, but still you start from your physical data center. You need a lab will be definitely deployed somewhere in a physical data center. So everything starts from physical layer. So what I usually do, I call these layers as L1, L2, L3, L4, and L5. Now this L1 is your data center. L1 is your data center means your physical devices, physical server. So if you have been to data center, then you know that in data center, what is exactly a data center? It is a building. It is a where we store, we mount our servers, where we keep our servers, and they are powered on and they are running 24 cross 7 without any failure or without any single second you can say outage. These servers are so critical that they cannot go down even for 1 second. Assume in case of your laptop, you might put your laptop in a sleep mode, or you might shut down your laptop if you don't need it. But it is not a case with servers. Server always run because they are designed to be run always 24 cross 7. They cannot stop even for a single second. Because of this data center is highly confidential and a private premises where the operator or the person, I mean the company which is managing the data center, will ensure that these data devices never go powered off. The power supply of these data centers is 24/7, irrespective of the power supply coming from the outside. They need to maintain a 24/7 power supply. Also, they need to maintain a high availability of each devices, that even if a physical device goes down, still we should have some other physical device which should take the role of that particular active node. So physical hardware, that is your physical servers, are the very first layer of your stack. Then comes your operating system. So whatever server you install, you definitely need to install an operating system. The same way you go with your laptop. When you purchase a laptop from market, you get a physical hardware, and on top of your physical hardware, you install your Windows. Right? Might be a case that your company from which you are purchasing this laptop gives you a pre-installed operating system. It means that they have pre-installed the Windows in your laptop, but still your laptop is useless until there is a Windows operating system or any operating system. So when we say industry, so enterprise level, Linux is the most preferred operating system in the market. Each and every company is working on Linux. So Linux is basically a family. There are two family, one is Linux and one is Unix. Unix came before Linux. Both are similar, but they are not similar, and they have their own distributions, means they have their own operating system. So if you talk about Linux, you have Red Hat, RHEL, you have CentOS, then you have Ubuntu, you have Fedora, you have Kali Linux, you have n number of example of Linux. Why it is you have a number of example? Because this Linux is a free operating system. Linux is a free operating system, and companies have invented they have created their own operating system using this Linux as a core. Now when you install operating system in your server, then what next you do? You do some basic configuration to your operating system, like you do OS patching. You update your operating system, you create user, you assign IP, you allocate IP to your system, you configure storage, then you have to configure file system, all the basic activities which is required after you get your server installed with the operating system. Similarly, if I say like you get a laptop install, when you purchase a new laptop with the Windows, what exactly you do? When you receive laptop, what do? You log in, you create your own account, you create your own directory structure, you start saving your data, try to install your applications, right? You do whatever things, you first update your Windows. So these things are your operating system related activities, which is L3. Now the next activity is your application dependency resolution or software library. So whatever application you are going to use, you need to install the dependency. What is exactly is a dependency? For example, if you want to install something web related application, and that web related application needs Java or Python. So you need to install first Java and Python, then only your application will work. So this is your application dependency, and then next is your final software. So final software is the actual software where you are going to work, which you are going to install. So this five stack always remain intact. This five stack, without these five layers, your stack will never be completed, and you will not be able to run any software in any platform, whether it is cloud or whether it is no cloud. In both the scenarios, if you are not completing, you are not complying with all five layers, your software will never run. Okay, so let me go to the example. So talking about infrastructure as a service, which is our main class. So if I say infrastructure as a service, so software stack. So just assume a case where I explain you in the previous slide that these five layers are intact, right? Intact, and without five layers, your application will never run. Now, what happens exactly in infrastructure as a service? In infrastructure as a service, your physical layer is decoupled from the main stack. What exactly means of decoupling? Decoupling doesn't mean that I'm going to delete this layer. No, I cannot delete any of the five layers. What I can do, like I can take ownership back from the application team. Okay, so for example, in traditional industry, what used to happen? Like if you have to deploy some software, so how do you exactly start? You first go to data center, you mount your servers, you power on, you install operating system, you do basic configuration of OS patching, then you do some dependency resolution, and then you do install your software. I mean, this is the traditional way of working. Now, when we say cloud, infrastructure as a service, what exactly happens? This data center, physical data center, is decoupled from the application, and now application team no longer owns this particular layer of the infrastructure, I mean of the software stack. What do you mean by this? That if I'm an application owner, I don't need to go to a data center, I don't need to install any software hardware, I don't need to manage any hardware, I don't need to power on any device, I don't need to take care of the network connectivity. I mean, network connectivity means I don't need to put any cable, network cable. I don't need to run like any of the devices. I don't need to take care of the physical security. I'm not bothered about the physical data center. I'm only going to be concerned about the operating system installation, and how operating system installation I can do is the help of a virtual machine. So this cloud team, which you say as a cloud provider. So if you remember my example when I said that the industry is now divided in two parts: cloud service provider and cloud service user. So here you can see is the cloud service provider. So who is the cloud service provider? Who is going to provide me this service? So it is going to provide me virtual machine, it is going to provide me everything in a virtual format, and I'm going to start my work from this operating system installation, OS configuration, app dependency, main software, and these things I'm going to take care. So this is an example of infrastructure as a service. Let me move to the next slide, so it might give you some better picture. Whatever I have discussed till now is just a verbal discussion, but let me try to visualize whatever I have explained you. So see, if you say cloud infrastructure as a service where we have a physical data center, always remember that without physical data center nothing is possible. You cannot do anything on without having a physical data center. If you as a user are enjoying the MS Office 365 services, that doesn't mean that there is no data center of MS Office 365. There is a data center, but that data center is not managed or under control of you, because you are a user, you're just enjoying the services of the MS Office. Similarly, if you're using running a Kubernetes architecture, and on top of it if you're putting your application, that doesn't mean that there is no physical data center. There is definitely a physical data center, but you are not bothered about that physical data center. You as a user are only concerned about your containers. If you say about virtual machines like a virtual data center, so if I say that I am a user, I am a cloud user, and I want to create a virtual data center. Why I want to create a virtual data center? Because without a data center nothing is possible. No R&D possible, no deployment possible, no operations and maintenance possible, nothing at all. Without data center you cannot achieve anything. So if you want to learn or if you want to understand anything about cloud or no cloud, you have to definitely understand what is a data center, because this is the actual physical place on top of which we everyone is enjoying the data. So if you as a mobile user enjoying Facebook or enjoying WhatsApp or enjoying any kind of online services, or you are doing shopping online, or if you are connecting with people online, or if you are talking to your colleagues on official chat, or if you are doing any kind of your official work, remember, always remember, without a physical data center nothing is possible. The only difference is that you are not fully aware where exactly that data center is and how it is being managed, who is managing what exactly architecture it is, how exactly the things are going on over there. You as a user or a subscriber are only concerned about your domain. So you are basically restricted to a zone, and that zone is called as virtual zone. So when you talk about infrastructure as a service, so please remember, if I talk about infrastructure, or if I talk platform, if I talk software, if I talk function, if I talk any other service of cloud, everything runs on top of the physical data center. So first layer is infrastructure as a service in cloud, and on top of it your comes the virtual your infrastructure as a service. So what exactly you get in virtual format? So in virtual data center you get same things what you are getting in your physical data center. You are getting a virtual server as in a format of a virtual machine. So you create a VM, you get virtual storage, you get virtual network. So whatever LAN physical connectivity was done in a physical data center, same thing you are going to get in your virtual format also. The function, so I'm talking about function. Please remember, I'm saying the word function. I'm not talking like if I'm putting a picture of virtual server like this, so you may come to me in future and tell me that you told me that there is going to be a virtual machine is going to look exactly like this. No, virtual machine doesn't look like this. Virtual machine is a virtual machine, and you should be only concerned about the function. What is the function of a virtual machine? It is going to provide you a server, a virtual server. So virtual server doesn't look like this. It actually look like this in this format in physical data center. So if you happen to visit a data center, and I request each one of you that if you get an opportunity to visit data center, please go to data center. I know not possible at the moment, but definitely whenever you have an opportunity, don't miss that chance. Go to data center and see how exactly data center works, right? Now, when talking about virtual DC, virtual data center, so here you're going to get a virtual server, VM, you're going to get a virtual storage, you're going to get virtual network, virtual router, virtual firewall. So I hope you understand the functionality of each of the devices. See, virtual server is the actual hero of the picture of the training and industry, which is doing everything. If you are running WhatsApp, it is definitely getting run on some server. If you're using Teams in an office, definitely it is being run on some server. If you're using any services, definitely it is being hosted on some physical or virtual server. What is a storage? You know the importance and the criticality of storage. If you don't store data, you're going to lose it. You are not going to retrieve in future. Data is the most important critical aspect in today's industry for everyone. Even as a personal user, if you say, for you also it is very important to have a storage. If you don't have a storage, you will not be able to retrieve any data in future. Networking is actually the thing which is going to connect you to the network. So without network, these devices are isolated, they cannot talk to anyone. So networking is very important. Router is actually a device which takes you outside of your data center. So suppose if you have a data center, virtual data center, and you want to talk to outside world, so in order to talk to outside world, you need to have a virtual router. And what is a firewall? Firewall actually protects you from the outside communication, and it prevents any kind of attack. So it is very important that you prevent any unauthorized or unwanted interaction with your devices to prevent them from any kind of theft or any kind of hacking. So therefore, firewall is very important. So these are the basic functions of a physical data center, which you are going to get in the virtual format in a infrastructure as a service. So when you say IaaS, you are going to get all these services. So see, with this, I complete my part for today's session, because I don't want to go in more detail and confuse you on the very first day. So I want you now to ask question to me. So now I'm opening the forum for question and answer. So you can ask me questions if you have any question for today's session. Please go ahead. Please go ahead if you have any questions.
Krishna, OpenStack only works as a infrastructure as a service.
OpenStack is an example of infrastructure as a service.
So means I mean to say, like, if we want to use OpenStack as a platform as a service, that won't be possible, right?
It is possible nowadays. Means
Okay.
OpenStack as a community, they have started working on providing platform as a service in OpenStack. But it's quite a new technology, and if you go to any industry like Red Hat or any
Mm-hmm.
company, so they have not yet adopted this service from the OpenStack. So maybe in next 1 or 2 year, definitely you will see OpenStack in your OpenStack. When I say OpenStack, see, there are two type of OpenStack. I will discuss in detail
Okay.
in next classes. So OpenStack, when you say a generic, a standard OpenStack, and when you
Mm-hmm.
say a customized OpenStack, which is being used by your company as a customized one, so the customized OpenStack always follow the original community releases. So community has already implemented, they have already started giving the service of platform as a service, but the companies have still not adopted that particular feature of OpenStack.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next question. You say something.
Krishnaji, just as you said, Kubernetes is just like as a platform as a service. Even Jenkins can be as a platform as a service.
See, Jenkins is something different. So Jenkins is not platform as a service, and Jenkins is not infrastructure as a service. Jenkins is totally different. It is actually a tool. It is
Okay.
basically a tool. But here we are talking about infra or platform. Platform is something on top of which you can run different type of tools. You
How this
may,
how this
yes,
Kubernetes works there?
see Kubernetes, when I say so Kubernetes, because in this class I'm not explaining you about
Yeah.
Kubernetes, but definitely I recommend you that you can check my previous sessions of Kubernetes. It will help you understand what exactly architecture of Kubernetes is. And you can follow the classes because we're going to have a class next weekend. So you can join that class if you want to understand Kubernetes. But here we're going to stick to OpenStack. And there is a difference, a very basic difference between Kubernetes and OpenStack is that OpenStack provides you infra as a service, whereas Kubernetes provides you platform as a service. And there's a very basic, big difference between these two technologies. If you want to go only with the differences, I will share you one recording where I have explained specifically what is infra as a service, what is platform as a service, and what is traditional bare metal as a service, bare metal
Okay.
technology. No worries. See, you have an option to go to the class recording, right? You can go to class recording and you can follow. If you have any queries, please come back to me. Try to contact me, or in the next class, you can put your questions. You can write down your questions. You can ask in next class. Next class we are going to conduct on the, okay, so this is the wrong date. So I'll just recorrect. Next class is on next Sunday. Next Sunday is, I'm not sure exactly date. I cannot see at the moment, but it is going to be next Sunday. Okay. And if anybody want to enroll, or if you believe that you are not in the in participant invitation list, please send me an email. And next class will be on your 13th of March.
So can
With
you even
this,
can
yeah.
you conduct on Saturdays and Sundays, or only on Sundays you
No,
conduct?
Sunday is for OpenStack, Saturday is for Kubernetes.
Okay.
If you want to join Kubernetes, you can join on Saturday. If you want to join OpenStack, you can join on Sunday. If you want to join both, you can join on Saturday and Sunday.
But Krishna, links will remain the same for both the classes and timings will also be.
No, no. OpenStack link is different and Kubernetes link is different. Even though the link is constant, whatever link I'm going to provide you now for Kubernetes will remain same for all the classes of Kubernetes, and the link which I'm going to provide you for OpenStack will remain same for the OpenStack.
Okay, okay, fine, fine.
Friends, so I think in case you don't have any questions, then I'm good to close for today.
So
I hope
Sure,
Krishna,
you,
sure, Krishna.
yeah, I hope you enjoyed. My objective is to explain you everything from the very basic, because I don't want to go in a very high or what do you say, just don't want to put it everything in a very exaggerated way that you get confused. So I'll stick to very basics and I will try to explain you with the very basic examples. Yeah, Manish, you want to say something?
uh, yeah, since it was an introduction lecture today,
Mm-hmm.
so we are ending up a little early. Usually, how
Yes.
much time it takes for any lecture, any session?
See, usually I plan for 1 hour. So my objective is to go with 1 hour where 10 to 15 minutes I keep for the question and answers. So this is how I plan. And today, yes, definitely, because I don't wanted to put everything in the very first day. So definitely we'll have 1 hour session in the next time.
Okay. And within how many sessions it may over?
See, actually, it is a very depth topic. So OpenStack or Kubernetes, if you say whatever like 4, 5, 6 classes I conduct, doesn't mean that I can include everything about them,
Yeah,
both the
yeah.
technologies. But yes, definitely, you can go with an assumption that with like minimum 5 classes we will go for OpenStack, and 5 to 6 classes for Kubernetes.
Kubernetes. Okay. Okay. Fine.
I will try to put more things. See, because when I say about the content or the layout of the training, so it is like, that it's not a professional training. So I don't have a professional outline of everything. I try to put whatever information I know or which I feel is relevant for you. But because you as a participant might be having some expectation or some feedback in your mind, so definitely when you give some feedback, like if you want to include some new technology, like in any topic which is relevant to your portfolio, definitely we will include those topics also.
Sure. Definitely.
Okay, thank you, Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, friends. So I wish you all the best. So let's
Thank
meet
you.
on Sunday. Thank
Sure.
you. Have
All
a
right.
nice day.
Thanks.
Bye
Bye.
bye.